Hello, it's Richard here from Mixer Music Productions, and I'd like to show you this fabulous exercise which was taught to me by my friend and mentor, the late great Keithlevene. When he used to watch me play in some of the sessions that we had together, he used to say I had the grip of death on the fretboard, and what he meant by that was I used to put so much pressure just to make the guitar sound, and this caused my hand to ache, my fingers to ache, and my lower forearm to ache, and it prevented me from being free on the fretboard. And I'd like to show you that exercise now. Now, before we start, with any form of exercise you're going to carry out, it's always good to warm up. So for me, it's wiggling fingers, shaking my arms, sitting up straight, and get myself in a comfortable position. But necessary, keep your fingers warm, and simple exercises to finger warm, especially on your fretboard hand, is just to rub your fingers one by one. You just get the blood flowing into them. You know, anything at all, anything you're comfortable with, and warm them up. And the exercise Keith showed me to help me immensely. First of all, he said you got to sit straight, hand resting along the top of your leg, your wrist overhanging your knee, and just relax your hand. Just nice, relax, wiggle your fingers, get it nice and warm. And then you start here, you take your first little finger, your first finger to work on, and you pull it back gently, and you pull it back until in the lower forearm you feel the tension and the tightness as you're moving the ligaments and the tendons in the arm. And the moment you feel the tightness is where you stop, and just gently, just like a spring, backwards and forwards, feeling the tension go, come back and go in your arm. And you do that with each finger. Gentle, don't force your fingers back. Always loosen your hand up afterwards. Free yourself up and hand back to that position again. You'll notice each individual finger, the tension appears at different points in your arm depending on how far you've pulled your fingers back, and you'll notice some need a little bit more work than others. But if you get in a habit of doing this regularly, especially before you're going to play, it really does help. And you feel the ache. Then you can just loosen up. The next part of the exercise he showed me was you take your little finger and just fold it over so you get that shape. Just fold it over, just gentle squeeze, don't force it. If it doesn't go all the way down, just do it gently. Eventually the more you do this, you'll notice the further your finger will travel. And do it with each finger. Nice and gentle. It's a good exercise. It's a simple exercise. Wiggle your fingers. There is a note to be noticed, don't do it with your thumb, because your thumb actually moves slightly different. And the exercise will not work there, but I'll show you that shortly. There we go. And if you do that regularly before you play, warming up exercises like that, you notice your fingers will be more nimble free, and you'll get less tension in your arm, which is an absolute benefit to you. The other part now is, now that you've done that, is to shape your hand into a fan. On this one here, all we're going to do, we're just going to spread our fingers with your finger, not too hard, just push, a little bit at a time. Always start on the outside, first finger, little finger, and do your ring finger and your index finger. Yet again, always spread them. Always spread them. And once you've done that, back to that warming up exercise again. Just rubbing your fingers down, and this will keep your fingers nice and nimble. That's for your fretting hand and your fretting arm. If you're left-handed, obviously you work on your right hand. Do exactly the same exercise. Pulling your finger back gently as I showed you. Always warm down. Free yourself up. Fingers. Now for your thumb. Not a lot of exercises you can do with your thumb. Don't push your thumb too far back because it's one of the easiest digits on your hand that you can damage. And on this one, literally is a round motion. And then back again. And do it the other way. And back again. And do it the other way, because your thumb's going to be doing that. It's going to be going over the top of the fretboard. So it needs to have freedom of movement. Yet again, that's an exercise on its own. That applies to both hands. So there you go.